Welcome to Kicks Gaming. This is PapaKicks. Today we're going to learn how to play Gear Raid 1 in Watcher of Realms. This is a mission that I had trouble with and finally found a way to get through it, so I wanted to share my strategy. One of the reasons I kept failing is because I always tried to put my tanks in front of this wall. Once I stopped doing that, it became much easier. One thing I do want to use though is fighter units that can hit more than one square in front of them. This unit, for example, is able to hit a huge distance. He's amazing, and I lucked out on the summon, so chances are you don't have him, but you might have this one. So if you have any fighter units that can hit through that wall, go ahead and use them. But the more important aspect of this fight is our AoE mages. Start with your strongest mage right here and aim it towards the middle. Next, do the same thing, except the mage will be on top and aiming down. I personally don't have a lot of good mages, so I use some of my marksmen instead. They have a tiny amount of AoE, but it's better than nothing. We're going to put them on the very edge because they can still hit the middle and they're not as important as our mages. Depending on your other heroes, you're going to do the same if you have more marksmen, but if you have another mage, that would be better. At this point, we shouldn't have taken a lot of damage, but we're going to in a little bit. So we want to put our healer down here in the corner. Their range is long enough where they should be able to hit all of these squares. Hopefully the two on the top platform will be able to survive without any heals. If you have any more AoE mages, we're going to put them right up front and hopefully they'll chew up any trash. And last but not least, we want one more fighter right here. This is because some of the enemies will attack the fighters instead of the wall. So if you don't have the fighters that can hit through the wall, go ahead and use tanks instead. Since I've already cleared this stage, I have the Power of Dominance buff, which gives 30% to all stats. Without it, it was a really close fight. The first wall was totally destroyed, and the second one was pretty darn close to gone as well. So maybe putting that last mage near the wall might not be a bad thing after all, if they are consistently breaking through the wall for you. And then you can move it if you want faster clears later on. Now let's take a look at my units and their gear. Like I said at the start, I don't have the best mages, but I definitely make up for it with my melee. You can see the post-battle stats, just how little damage those marksmen did. So starting off, here's my champion. You can see his attack pattern is just insane for a melee unit. This fighter can also hit through that wall, but is not nearly as impressive. One of the best mages I have is still the starter unit. Next up I have Mari, who is also good at AoE with a crowd control element. For a marksman, I still have the starter unit as well, and I also have Theoden, who is able to be summoned through the hero fusion. If you're not taking advantage of that, you should. It's a great way to get good units. You can also get the healer Lightlock in the same way. Other things I wanted to mention is always make sure you're promoting your heroes. You get things like extended range as well as increased stats, and they're fairly easy to farm the promotion materials. Same goes with gear. I have pretty good gear now that I've been able to progress, but you should still farm whatever you can for all your main units. One tip I wanted to mention is that the game repeatedly has events that kind of align with each other. So one day you're going to have an event to farm gear, and the next day you're going to have an event to level up gear. So it's a really good idea to hold off and check the calendar and see what events are coming up. It might be better to not take the next step and follow through with whatever you just farmed, and just wait one more day to get the rewards for that event. And that's everything I can think of for this video. If you have any questions or if there's something I'm forgetting or not aware of, please let me know in the comments to help other viewers. Please like and subscribe. I know you hear that everywhere, but we're legally required to say it. I also want to thank my community supporters. They are awesome and make these videos possible. And thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. PapaKicks out.